It's not all sunshine and rainbows. It takes a very mentally tough person to be able to get through something like that.
What is it really like inside the Ohio Women's Prison where convicted double murderer Mackenzie Shirilla is going to spend at least the next 10 years of her life, maybe even more? We are getting inside information from a former inmate on everything from the rules Shirilla has reportedly been caught breaking to the privileges she may be getting behind bars. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Everybody loves a self-made success story, but John Morgan says that is not how real life works. The great John Morgan, everybody. In his new book, Life is Luck, the founder of Morgan & Morgan gets real about the role that luck plays in success and how to recognize opportunity when it shows up.
And that seed was just lucky.
From delivering newspapers as a kid to building America's largest injury law firm, Morgan shares the moments that changed everything.
It's a how-to book to approach life, luck, and ultimately success.
This isn't another billionaire memoir full of cheesy advice. It's honest, blunt, and packed with lessons on turning good luck and bad luck into something bigger. I hope people read it. I hope people appreciate it. Buy Life is Luck now on Amazon at forthepeople.com/lifeisluck. So we've been talking about Mackenzie Shirilla a lot lately. She's been in the headlines after Netflix dropped the Crash documentary. It brought all this renewed interest, attention into the deadly crash that Shirilla was convicted of intentionally causing. July 2022, the then 17-year-old slammed her car into the side of a brick building in Strongsville, Ohio, destroying the vehicle, killing the two passengers, her boyfriend, 20-year-old Dominic Russo, and their friend, 19-year-old Davion Flanagan. Shirilla survived, incredibly, told investigators that she must have blacked out because she had no memory of what happened. To this day, she says she doesn't know what happened. The scene left responding officers nearly speechless.
We got at least 2 occupants in here. Doing fluid.
Recording. Mounted. Wi-Fi connected.
Oh my God. I'm 3, guys. Radio 3
occupants.
No one's
conscious.
No one's breathing.
Okay.
Bust that window out. Oh my God, dude. Who can hear my voice?
Who's in here?
Driver.
Radio. Driver.
Breathing.
Unconscious.
I copy.
Radio, they're going to need full extraction on all 3.
Come here.
Arriving.
Let him call it in.
You need a knife?
I copy.
You need a knife? Here.
This is bad, guys.
Here's the knife.
She's alive. We got to get her out somehow.
And Shirilla has maintained her innocence at a bench trial in front of a judge. This is where prosecutors laid out a timeline of her toxic relationship with Dom, her apparent pre-planning of the crash, bolstered by a visit to the site in the days before, what seemed like a complete lack of remorse in text messages and on social media in the time after the wreck, the physical evidence about the accelerator in the car and how there was no malfunction and how her foot never hit the brake. An Ohio judge ultimately found her guilty on a whole litany of charges, including murder. And at sentencing, the judge explained her reasoning for the punishment that she handed down.
There's a very good likelihood, Mackenzie, that you will spend the rest of your life in prison. That won't be up to me. That will be up to the parole board, and that will be up to you to a great extent. I understand that the pain in this room wants me to impose the harshest sentence. But I don't believe that would be the appropriate sentence, because I do believe that Mackenzie will not be out in 15 years. So she's sentenced on count 2, the murder of Davion Flanagan, 15 years to life. She's sentenced on count 1, the murder of Dominic Russo, 15 years to life, to be served concurrent to each other, with credit for time served.
So what happened? Shirilla was shipped off to the Ohio Reformatory for Women in Marysville, Ohio. It's a prison that first opened more than 100 years ago, can house 2,000 inmates, and that is where Shirilla was when she sat down for her first on-camera interview with the Netflix documentary film. And on her life behind bars, she said, "It's really hard every day in here. I try to wake up and be the best person I can be every day, stay out of trouble. There's not a moment that doesn't pass where I don't think about Dom and Davion." But her short time in Marysville so far hasn't been without controversy, because we got a hold of her prison record, which gives us some insight into the apparent trouble she has been accused of causing. See, in May of 2024, Shirilla apparently got in trouble for apparently being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Corrections officer wrote, "On the above date and approximate time of 11:40 p.m., inmate Shirilla, W111780, was seen in the second floor day room talking to her tablet. This is the second incident that has occurred where inmate Shirilla has been found in the day room after rec has been closed. Inmate Shirilla is being charged with 5.6 being out of place." In a follow-up report, Shirilla said she, quote, "just didn't know." She apparently admitted this. The hearing officer found her guilty. She got a verbal warning. Just a few months later, another conduct report was filed. Quote, "On the above date and approximate time, I, Officer Bryce, was conducting my random bed searches. During my search on inmate Shirilla, I found 2 pair of altered state pants, a fan with the name and number crossed out and Shirilla written on the same side, and 4 nude magazine pictures. For this, I will be charging her with a 12.3 possession of another inmate's property and a 12.7 possession of contraband." And according to the prison doc, Shirilla told the staff, quote, "I did have the fan and pants, was turned into quartermaster, and I was charged." So apparently Shirilla lost commissary access for 30 days for that one. She was cited multiple times for apparently wearing clothing that had been altered or was being worn incorrectly. You have this report from April 2025. It stood out because it says, quote, "I approached IP Shirilla while she was in case manager Jones's office to take her to the restroom to see if she was properly dressed. IP Shirilla was previously in Mr. Ream's office, and he had asked her for her hoodie as it was altered and considered contraband. IP stated that he couldn't have it because she wasn't dressed properly under her hoodie. When I told her I was taking her in the restroom to make sure she was dressed properly so I could take her hoodie, she stated, if he got a," and then here is slang word for erection, "from the way I'm dressed, that's his fault." As she got to the door of Miss Jones' office, she told Miss Jones to come with us to the restroom because she didn't feel comfortable. When we got into the IP restroom, IP Shirilla unzipped her hoodie and her state shirt was completely unbuttoned with just a sports bra on. She was instructed to button her shirt and give me her altered hoodie. The whole time we were in the restroom, she was very disrespectful and talked with a loud tone, asking if this was all we were worried about was her altered jacket. This IP has had several conduct reports for contraband clothing. She has been given new state uniforms in exchange for the altered clothes. Her hoodie was clearly taken in on the sides and was very form-fitting on this IP. And then you have this, August 2025, there was another incident, this one involving claims of sexual activity. A conduct report states IP had her hands in IP Shirilla's pants in her buttocks region. Now, Shirilla denied this happened, reportedly saying, "I did not allow her to touch me, and I have never had a sex ticket, and this is not me. I don't do that kind of stuff." By the way, you can check out all of Shirilla's apparent misconduct reports right now on the Law&Crime Plus app. We have a whole case file on Mackenzie Shirilla. We have everything in there from the police body cam, the evidence photos, the incident reports, the jail phone calls. You can check it out there. Now, we wanted to know what life is really like in this facility, in prison, for Mackenzie Shirilla. So I had the chance to speak with a former inmate of the Ohio Reformatory for Women, Jess Dennison. And her videos have gone viral since the crash premiered on Netflix because she's revealing behind-the-scenes details about life at this women's prison. And I will tell you, Jess's story is unique. She told us that she was an advanced science and chemistry student in high school. She ended up using her skills to support her drug habit. She was sentenced to spend 3 years at the Marysville prison at just the age of 19 for illegal manufacture of drugs. She was granted early release. She relapsed. She went back. and Jess told us that she was the first woman to earn an actual high school diploma instead of a GED at this prison, was given a graduation ceremony. She says she's now been clean and sober for 8 years. It's a remarkable accomplishment. And since Shirilla's case has been back in the headlines, Jess has posted videos to social media talking about her time behind bars and answering everyone's questions they may have. So we got a chance to speak to her. Take a look. All right, time to bring in Jess Dennison, talk more about this. Jess, thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it. Just so everybody knows, you were at Ohio Reformatory. For how long were you there for?
About 7.5 years across 3 trips as a very young adult.
And you, to be also clear, you had no interaction with Mackenzie Shirilla. This was after you.
No. Nope, I was there before she even hit middle school.
Okay. I really want to get your perspective to see, what it's like there, what her life is like. Just generally speaking, what should we know about this facility that we're not understanding from just reading about it?
Yeah, so there's a lot that goes into the mentality of a women's prison. It's a lot different than a men's prison. It's not nearly as violent. You get a lot more of the high school drama there. So while she's not dealing so much with the consequences of her actions on a violent playing field like the men would, as being confronted for her actually hurting a couple of kids, whereas in the men's prison, she would face a lot more accountability for that. Instead, she is a very popular girl right now, unfortunately.
And that's interesting because you would imagine popularity, celebrity status. I have to imagine she's like the most well-known inmate right there. In other facilities, that might be a danger. Here, not so much.
Correct. That's right. So unfortunately, in the women's prison, especially in Ohio Reformatory for women, this brings a lot of notoriety to you. Her popularity has shot up significantly because everyone on the compound is calling home to their family, and their family is giving them information on this crash documentary. So everyone wants to know who she is, talk to her, and be able to say, I was in prison with her.
Was it strange for you to see them filming a documentary at the Ohio Reformatory? I mean, have you ever seen anything like that before?
Yes. So a couple of times. There's a few times Kim Kardashian came in and worked with some of the girls to get early releases. So documentaries aren't strange there. But what is strange is them filming them and then leaving the person in the documentary just out in general population for everyone to go hang out with after. That is different. Explain to me why that's an issue. So what it's going to bring is everyone around her. And while her personality is a lot in there, it's going to bring a lot more towards her, which amplifies the situation. It's kind of like in there, you only have so many distractions and you don't want the women distracted on each other. And that is the goal of a lot of the things to distract the women in there, like the tablets and the music. You don't want them focused on each other. This is going to make all of the women focus on her. What is life like there? You wake up, you go to sleep. What does the full day look like? So the prison that everyone thinks that it is actually what admissions is. So when you first get there, every single female in the state of Ohio goes through MCC, which is an admissions dorm. And inside of that, you spend 30 to 60 days, total lockdown, no movement, in an open dorm with all the women who are coming in until you do all your medical passes. You get given your level, which comes in 3 different levels in Ohio. The most nonviolent and youngest get level 1s. Whereas if you have a violent charge or you have recidivism rates where you've come back a few times, you're a level 2. And if you do the most heinous crimes, you're a level 3. Mackenzie Shirilla falls into that level 2. So once she gets out of the admissions dorm, she's going to go out into the general population and have everything. Full access to everything. So what everyone thinks she should be living through is what she only went through in the first 30 days. Now she has full access to 2 food boxes a year and 1 sundry box a year, which is where the prison gives you magazines where you can shop out of them like you're online. She can get clothes, she can get sweatsuits, hair straighteners, blow dryers, curling irons, makeup. And most of that is to make the women feel a little bit more normal in there. But you're going to see the prison programs versus the consumerism making its way into private prison contracts, which is what those boxes are. Outside companies are pushing as much as the prison will let them sell in there. And it's only a small amount of things, but for an inmate, it's a lot. So she has access to a ton of things. Normally you would think if she's getting nice things, that might
put a target on her back, right? Oh, you have all access to this. You're getting money. You're getting donations. Not the case?
Not the case. Not the case, unfortunately. That just ups her popularity because in there, your status is off of what you have, not who you are, what you did, or where you're from. So as long as you have all the nice things and you're going to have friends around you. So that just ups her popularity and makes people want to meet her even more.
What about iPads?
Yeah, so the tablets are fun. They're interesting. And again, it comes back to that perspective of you don't want these women focusing on each other. So there's private tablets that you can order from JPay where you can download music, pay for music, and download it on your tablet personally. That was the first thing we upped from a FM AM radio. And then once they realized that worked, the GTL tablets, which is the phone company through Ohio prisons, they created their own tablet that is given to all inmates. You don't have to buy it. And you can make phone calls from your bed. You can send like 5 or 10-second text messages that you can text from your bed as well. So they have expanded that quite a bit. If you get that, you can also buy streaming services where you can stream movies or TV, millions of songs like YouTube. It's really crazy.
Is she required to have a job, or can she sit back and just watch movies all day?
So every inmate is required to have a job. Now, you get to choose which way you want to program, which way you want to work in there. So when you go in, everyone is initially given a first-time job, which is usually CFS, the chow hall. And that's terrible. You're working in the worst food in a dish pit for 8 to 12 hours a day, just like a normal job. Whereas you could get assigned a lucky job like I did, which is a reclaimer, and you take one garbage can of trash to a compactor once a day, and that's your entire state job. But everyone does have to work.
Let me ask you this. We were talking a little bit before. You're going back there. You're going back there as part of an alumni program. Is there a scenario where you could speak to, talk to, converse with Mackenzie Shirilla, provide her advice?
Only if she decides to program for the better of herself. So like I said, every inmate has the opportunity to set their own programming schedule. You can decide if you want to go into college, if you want to go into the Tapestry program like I did, which is the highest the highest recovery rate in the entire state of Ohio with 27%. And so she has hundreds and hundreds of programs that she could get into. If she went into Tapestry next year for Alumni Day, I absolutely could go in and mentor her. But that's a personal choice. She could choose to not do any programming and go run the yard, sleep all day, skip out on her state assigned job, and not do anything. And it's a choice.
That would hurt her at parole, right?
She's already hurt herself at parole, unfortunately. So the parole board gives people a bit of a self-confidence that I think hurts them in the long run. When some of the inmates have longer time, they fill themselves with delusion that appeal is going to get them out early. Unfortunately, with her conduct reports, it doesn't seem as if she's carrying herself in a way that matters to her right now. These parole boards and this parole hearing, they flop you, is what we call it in there. You get flopped for 5 years every time. So they rarely, for any infraction that has a life sentence tag on the end of it, give the first parole hearing or at the first parole meeting, give parole. You will get flopped at least 2 times if you have any conduct reports on your record whatsoever. She has many already. So in 10, 15 years, she's going to have to answer for what she was doing when she first got there. So she's going to get pretty disappointed, and she's going to get pretty humbled pretty quickly after she watches years worth of people come in and leave and never contact her again.
Was there something about in the documentary itself that makes you believe that as well, that she might have difficulty for early release?
Yes. Just the fact that she has just never said what happened that night. She claims the fact that she can't remember. The parole board will not accept that. That's not acceptable. That you're in there to rehabilitate, to program, to make yourself better, and to take accountability for what you did. And she is not doing any of that right now. And the first 5 years are the most important to the parole board.
When, if you have an opportunity to eventually speak to her, like if she does take this chance to, like you said, better herself and meet with you, what would you say to her?
I think I would ask her what she would say to herself when she gets to the age of release. Like what she would ask to herself when she was younger, when she went in. Is that how you want to be remembered? Do you want to be the girl who couldn't take accountability and couldn't be remorseful and tell the truth about what happened to give closure? Are you just going to remain in your addiction and your addictive personality? She needs work. She needs rehab. She needs cognitive behavioral therapy. And that doesn't start until she realizes that she single-handedly is responsible for this.
And this facility provides the help if you want it?
Oh, hundreds and hundreds of incredible programs. You get to set your own programming. You can sign up for whatever you want or don't want. I got 7 state certifications, 2 college degrees, and I was the first female in the state of Ohio to get my high school diploma instead of my GED. She has every opportunity to come out with no student debt, be completely on top of her education, and flip her life around at 30 if she comes out on an early parole.
Wouldn't it be tough, though, considering her notoriety,
Yeah.
considering what she was convicted of? Wouldn't it be very tough for her to, I don't know what that life would look like on the other side.
Well, I think she has an opportunity. I think that with the programs that they have in there, the second chances are endless. Even for her with her notoriety in her case and what she did, the difference is going to be whether people receive it because she actually takes accountability.
So when you're looking at this and you're thinking about her case and what she's going through and the amount of attention that's being brought here, what is, how difficult is life there? I mean, we talk about some of the advantages, we talk about some of the benefits, but day to day, how demoralizing is it? How depressing is it? How is it tough to be motivated? Again, we go back to what it's like inside there. What are we not seeing?
Yeah, the mental torture, it is a lot. So the things that you think people are in there arguing over, they're not. You spend most of your time in there listening to, for a perspective, it is 300 women in an open dorm, just 150 bunk beds thrown in a warehouse. And there's 8 to 10 of them on the whole compound. So you're listening to women screaming at the top of their lungs over nothing. You're fighting over phone lines because people are calling next from across the dorm at count time. You are waiting in a 300-person line for microwaves. So you could have all these luxuries. You can go shopping at Walmart essentially and have a whole grocery bag under your bed. But if you can't get in the one microwave for 300 women, it doesn't matter. So all of these things, you don't have your freedom. You can go out the door when you want, but they still tell you when you can and cannot shower. They tell you when you can and cannot get up and go to bed. And it's demoralizing in that point. It's exhausting. And if you don't have the mentality to live around 3,000 criminal women and the behaviors that come with that, you won't survive it.
Are there episodes of violence?
There are. I've seen few, but it's usually over something personal. It's never over principle like it is with men. It's usually personal. The only time I ever saw any serious violence in there is because someone hung up somebody's phone call and they were calling home for a family emergency. So that's the type of things that would get women to actually get violent.
Jess, I want to go back to you. Talk to me about the work that you do right now and how you're helping people.
Yeah, so I use my story, my sobriety, and I share it on social media all of the time. It helps a ton of people. We work with nonprofits across multiple different states to get ex-inmates or people who are on the streets and are struggling into rehabilitation, into sober living facilities. And I'm going to take all of that motivation back into the prison for Tapestry Alumni Day. And then we get to motivate the inmates to show them that there is something else on the other side of this. And regardless of what you did, where you come from, there's a comeback.
And by the way, you have a significant social media. That's actually one of the things that we were seeing is the videos that you were making about this place and also about the Mackenzie Shirilla case. That's an interesting way to communicate it to the world.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a great opportunity for sure. I think one thing I want to share a lot of that my followers seem to be very, very excited about to hear in the inside is a lot of the opportunities that they get for being able to have normal food, like eye care packages you can buy online and send food to somebody once a week. And it's gourmet meals. Like it looks like it came straight out of a restaurant. But on the other side of those programs are inmates who are learning how to cook in a restaurant, in an industrial kitchen, by order per unit. So sure, some inmates are getting a cheeseburger, chicken and waffles, and that doesn't quite make sense. But there's somebody on the other side of that who is learning how to be an actual industrial chef in the restaurant industry and can take that anywhere with them.
Yeah.
Same with the hair salons and the nail salons. Mackenzie Shirilla can go get her hair done and create a hair appointment and just pay for it out of her commissary. But there's an inmate on the other side of that learning how to do hair to go into the hair industry. So there's a balancing act for sure.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're doing great work. I really appreciate you coming on and giving us a little perspective about what this facility is like, what Mackenzie Shirilla may be going through. And, you know, again, keep up the good work. It's really, really important. But Jess Dennison, thank you for coming here on Sidebar.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
And that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also check us out on NBC's Peacock as well. If you want to follow me, X, Instagram, my News Nation show, Jesse Weber Live, Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you next time, everybody.